In family constellations, I've learned that awareness can be curative. Awareness can heal you. So to become more self-aware is one of the best things that you can do when talking about your mental health. When I was a child, I struggled to connect with my peers. The reason for that is that I wanted always to be at the center of attention without considering the feelings of others. When I became a teenager, I realized that a big part of the problem was my lack of emotional intelligence. So I started to improve on that. From one of the biggest weaknesses of my life, empathy and self-awareness became one of my biggest strengths. And that's why I started to work with people, because I started to understand them and to empathize with them. So that's how I got into family constellations and psychology. And in this video, I will be sharing with you my journey and the lessons that I have learned about how I improved my self-awareness. Make sure to stick to the end, because I will give you some tips on how you can improve your self-awareness, and I will share with you what have worked for me in the past. So this will be a 3-part series where I talk about emotional intelligence. So this video will be about self-awareness. The second one will be about self-management, how you can manage your emotions. And the third will be about social awareness, or becoming more aware of the emotions of others. Self-awareness is the ability to understand yourself, to know yourself better, to know what you're good at, what you're bad at, what is your personality, what are your beliefs, and etc. And the good thing is that if you're not self-aware, or if you're not that good at it, you can become better, because it's a skill and it's an ability that you can improve on. Seeking who I am and why I am in this body and on this earth is what got me started into this personal and spiritual development stuff, this productivity stuff, and etc. For me, if I had to choose one thing that I want to improve on my whole life, it is going to be this: self-awareness, to know who I am. This YouTube channel is all about this: self-awareness and personal development. So if you like this topic, you can subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. There are 2 directions in which you can improve your self-awareness. The first one is going inside. This is the most important one. Going inside yourself, closing your eyes, meditating, breathing, doing inner work, therapy, and exploring your inner world, exploring your beliefs, your consciousness, and who you are. You are who you are. The second direction is outside. Opening your eyes and seeing how your behavior, how your actions, how your words affect others and the world around you. And when seeing, asking for feedback and receiving it, and tailoring your behavior around the results that you want in your life. Those 2 directions are interconnected, because others represent ourselves. They are our mirrors. What we don't like in others, we don't like in ourselves. That means that others unconsciously help us become more conscious. According to the psychologist Daniel Goleman, there are 3 aspects of self-awareness. The first one is emotional self-awareness, which means recognizing your emotions and how they affect your actions and your thoughts. On average, women are more emotionally aware about their emotions and the emotions and feelings of others than men, and that is a skill that you can improve on. For example, I am very emotional, and in the past I was not aware about my emotions and how they affect others. As time progressed and as I improved myself as a person, I became more aware of how I feel in certain situations and how my emotions affect others. And the best way that I've learned throughout the years to understand my emotions is to watch them, to become more present in this very moment and to stop identifying with my emotions. When you have this space between your consciousness and your emotions, in this space you have the choice to act on those emotions and knowing the results bear the consequences, or to not act on those emotions and just watch them. When somebody gets me angry, I can go there and hit him, or watch this anger and choose what I can do with it. Maybe this anger arises because I did not defend myself in time verbally, and I can use this anger not to defend myself physically and go there and punch him, but to channel it through my words in a very assertive manner and to show the other person that he cannot fuck with me. And this goes and segues to our second part of the self-awareness topic, and that is self-confidence, the ability to be more assertive. So men are on average more self-confident than women because they are more unagreeable. The good news again here is that assertiveness is a skill and a communication style that we can all improve on. And this is something that I am still working towards and I am still improving. One of the best ways that I've learned that we can become more self-confident is to follow up with our agreements. If, for example, I promise myself that I am going to do a morning routine every day with really good habits that will help me get energized, and I stop doing it after 1 week, I will feel that my self-confidence will drop. So if you want to become more confident in yourself, you need to follow through, to do the things that you promise you're going to do. One of the other ways that I found out that I can increase my confidence levels is to have accurate assessment of myself and my personality. And this is the third part about self-awareness. Accurate self-assessment. That means to know what I can do and what I cannot do. Knowing when you cannot do something is actually freeing because we cannot do everything in our lives. And saying no gives us confidence. Arrogance is the thought that I can do everything, and it is the pitfall of even the greatest people. So now I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can increase your self-awareness and what I have found out in my life. The first thing I did is I made a list about what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. For example, some of my strengths are that I am very outspoken, I am very good at speaking to people, and I have very good leadership qualities. Some of my weaknesses are that I am not very organized, and sometimes my home and my office room are very unclean. The good thing here is that we can double down on our strengths and use them to stack the deck in our favor, and we can know on what areas, meaning our weaknesses, we can focus our energy and time so we can improve them. For example, I started to schedule my time to become more organized. I created a to-do list. I started making goals and making weekly, monthly and even yearly reviews about how I am doing with my activities and my goals. And if you want to see about how I do my process, you can watch the videos on my channel about that. The second thing I did is I tested myself in different personality tests. The best one was the Big 5 personality traits. I did it in the website called understandmyself.com. There I found out that my biggest strength and possibly my biggest weakness is that I am very high percentile in openness, meaning that I am very abstract in my thinking. I love novel ideas and I love philosophy, art and stories. The second test that I did is the 16 personalities. You can Google that and find out yourself what is your personality type. And the third personality test that you can do is the DISC model. I have a whole video about that you can watch on my channel as well. Another thing that I do in my life that is very important is that I ask others for feedback. So for example, Everyone around me knows that they can give me feedback at any time that they see something in my behavior, in my videos, on my Facebook page posts, and they see that this behavior can get better, or they feel that I can improve on something. You can do that. You can ask people around you about certain situations, and you can ask how they felt, what were the results of this behavior, and you can take note and change this behavior, or at least become more self-aware. Another thing that you can do to become more self-aware is to have a journal. I've taken this a step further and I made a second brain in Evernote, which means that it contains not only my journal but all my notes from books, all my highlighted quotes, and all my projects, all my notes about my D&D campaigns, and etc. What you can start with is a journal in which you can write every day or every few days about certain situations where you explore how you felt, your emotional, mental and physical sensations, and what you can learn from them. 1 year ago, I went into the mountains for a writing retreat where I've learned how to write better short stories, how to have better characters. One of the exercises that I've liked was to write what are the roles that I inhabit in real life. One of the things that you can do is to write what are the roles that you play in your life and see how different they are from one another. For example, one of the roles that I play in my life is the smart guy, or the one who knows it all. Another role that I play is the communicator that is a passive one. I just stay in myself and not talk and just watch others, what they do. Another role in a different situation is that I am the group clown. I start to making jokes and try to make everyone laugh. Another role that I play is the philosopher. I love to talk about abstract ideas and philosophies that are not grounded in reality and in the present moment. Another role that I play is of the influencer. I just talk to a camera, post some videos, and this is another role. Of course, I am not those roles. I am something beyond that. But sometimes to go to that place, we need to explore the clothes that we put on ourselves, the masks that we put on our faces, and the barriers and the things that we put in front of ourselves. Right now, I am reading the book Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and in it the author says that our behavior is not only shaped by our personalities and our past experiences, but by our environment. So if you want to become more self-aware, we need to surround ourselves with people who are on this path as well. Because if we are around unconscious people and people who are asleep, we are not going to have the right environment to grow as a soul. That means cutting relationships that are toxic for us. Sometimes this happens naturally, but sometimes we need to do it consciously so we can have quality friends who are not dragging us down, but who want to grow with us. Right now, we are starting with some friends, a men's circle, where we will share our life experiences, our goals, we will motivate each other, and we will reflect upon our past experiences together. We'll have some men rituals and we will do some manly things together. And the last thing that we can do to improve our self-awareness is to explore our beliefs and values, because they are the foundation of our thoughts, our feelings, our goals and our actions. Some philosophers and psychologists say that we can change our values and we can make them. But others say that we can only find out in what we believe. I don't know what is true in that, but what I know is that we can understand what our beliefs are by our actions. And maybe, just maybe, if we change our actions, which is in our hands, we can change our beliefs. One of my goals for 2023 is I want to do the things that I know are right. So for example, I go to my laptop, I know that I have to work, but I see a video game on my desktop and I want to click it. There I have the decision to do what is right, to start working, or to do what is wrong and easy and to start playing games. So one of the things that I want to do this year is to become more self-aware of those moments and to choose the right and sometimes the hard thing. This is one of the values that I want to emanate next year, and I got this idea from the book The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, which is one of my favorite books in the whole world. In it, the protagonist, Howard Rourke, is the ideal man. He does what he believes in. He is very assertive and he knows what is right for him. He does what he loves and he faces the world without apologizing for his actions and his beliefs. I made a whole video about him where I read his inspirational speech at the end of the book with no spoilers. So if you want to be inspired by this great character and the ideas that come with him and his message, you can hear it in this video.